Every night at exactly 6:13 p.m., the same sound echoed through the quiet neighborhood. Tap, tap, tap. A German shepherd stood outside a couple's window, paws pressed against the glass, barking urgently as if trying to say something. At first, they thought he was lost, hungry, confused. But he wasn't. The knocking started exactly 3 days after their son disappeared. 3 days earlier, their 8-year-old boy had vanished without a trace. Officers searched the woods, combed the creek, questioned neighbors, but nothing. The case felt hopeless. No calls, no clues, no footprints. Just gone. And now this police dog appeared every single day at the exact same time, staring directly into their eyes with a look that sent chills down their spine. Oh, why was this dog coming back? Why this window? Why this exact time? They tried ignoring him. They tried shooing him away. The dog didn't move. One night, the father finally opened the door. The dog didn't run in, he didn't bark, he simply turned, stepped back, and looked at them with an urgency that made chills crawl down their spine. Where he led them next made their blood run cold. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Ethan Cooper was the kind of 8-year-old who filled a house with noise, little footsteps racing down the hallway, excited chatter about dinosaurs, and laughter that made even the toughest days feel lighter. His parents, Mark and Rachel, adored every bit of him. Every afternoon, Ethan would ride his bike around the neighborhood, then be home before dinner. Always, until the day he wasn't. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the trees, Rachel peeked out the window, expecting to see Ethan's blue bike turning into the driveway. Nothing. The seconds stretched. Dinner grew cold. Mark walked outside, calling his name down the sidewalk. Ethan, time to come in. Silence. At first, they assumed he lost track of time. But as night swallowed the sky, panic replaced patience. Neighbors joined the search. Flashlights cut through the bushes. Mark ran to the park, Rachel to the trail behind their street. Ethan, answer us, sweetheart. Still nothing. Police arrived. Officers questioned neighbors, combed through the woods, checked the creek, even brought in K9 units. Hours passed like a nightmare that wouldn't end. By midnight, Rachel collapsed onto the living room floor, sobbing into her hands. Mark sat beside her, trembling, unable to speak. Their lively home felt hauntingly silent. Ethan's shoes by the door, his toy dinosaur on the couch, his unfinished homework on the table, and worst of all, no sign of him anywhere. 3 days passed, each one heavier than the last. Ethan's posters were hung on every streetlight, police cars patrolled non-stop, and the Coopers barely slept. Rachel sat on the couch clutching Ethan's jacket, breathing in the faint scent of her son as if it were the only thing keeping her standing. Then it happened. Tap, tap, tap. Mark flinched. What was that? Rachel looked up slowly. The sound came again. Tap, tap, tap. Sharpened, urgent, right against their living room window. Mark stood, heart pounding, and pulled back the curtain. A German shepherd stood outside, tall, muscular, and unmistakably a police K9. His paws smacked the glass with precision, not panic. His eyes drilled into Mark's, intense and meaningful. Rachel gasped. Whose dog is that? Mark stepped closer. The dog barked once, loud, sharp, demanding, then pressed his nose to the glass, fogging it with heavy breaths. The collar tag glinted under the porch light. Hunter. Mark opened the door just an inch. Hunter didn't step in, didn't growl, didn't run away. He simply backed up, looked at Mark and Rachel, and tapped his paw on the ground twice, as if calling them. Then he turned his head slowly toward the backyard, toward the woods Ethan used to explore. Rachel whispered, chills crawling up her spine. Mark, I think he wants to show us something. The next evening at 6:13 p.m. exactly, the tapping returned. Tap, tap, tap. Hunter stood at the window again, paws pressed against the glass, breathing hard as if he'd run miles. His eyes flicked from Mark to Rachel, then toward the darkening woods behind their house. Mark stepped closer. Why does he keep coming here? What does he want from us? Hunter barked sharply, once, twice, then spun around and sprinted toward the tree line. He stopped just before the shadows swallowed him, turned back, and stared at the couple with an expression that looked eerily like frustration. Rachel grabbed Mark's arm. "Mark, he's leading us. He's literally trying to lead us somewhere." But fear chained them in place. What if it wasn't Ethan? What if it was something worse? The following day, at the exact same time, Hunter returned again. Same tapping, same desperation, same sprint toward the woods. He repeated it like a ritual. Mark finally stepped outside, walking halfway across the yard. Hunter wagged his tail once, then bolted deeper into the trees. But Mark froze. What if this is a bad idea? He muttered, voice shaking. What if we're chasing false hope? Hunter appeared again, this time walking back to them slowly, whining softly, nudging Mark's leg with his nose before trotting toward the woods once more. Rachel swallowed hard. He's not guessing. He knows something. On the fourth night, the tension inside the house felt suffocating. Mark paced. Rachel prayed. Every sound outside made their hearts jump. And when the clock hit 6:13 p.m., they already knew what was coming. Tap, tap, tap. Hunter was back. Louder, more frantic, his claws scraping the glass with desperate urgency. This time, he didn't wait for them to open the door. He barked sharply, spun around, and sprinted toward the woods. Rachel grabbed her coat. "Mark, I'm done being afraid. We're following him." Mark hesitated only a second. Then they ran after Hunter. The German Shepherd tore through the trees, glancing back every few seconds to make sure they were still behind him. The deeper they went, the colder the air felt. And the silence became eerie, like the forest itself was holding its breath. Finally, Hunter skidded to a stop near an old drainage tunnel hidden beneath overgrown vines. He lowered his body, ears pinned, and whimpered, a heartbreaking sound that made Rachel's stomach drop. "Hunter, what is it?" Mark whispered. Then they heard it. Faint, weak, almost lost beneath the wind. A cry, a small, trembling voice echoing from inside the tunnel. "Mom? Dad?" Rachel's scream ripped through the trees. "Ethan!" Mark fell to his knees, flashlight shaking as he aimed it toward the opening. There, deep inside the darkness, a tiny hand reached out. Ethan was alive. Mark dropped to the ground, reaching into the tunnel as far as he could. "Ethan, buddy, I'm here. Keep talking to me." Ethan's voice trembled, barely above a whisper. "Dad, I'm stuck. My leg hurts." Rachel sobbed uncontrollably, calling his name over and over. Hunter barked toward the tunnel entrance, pacing in tight circles, pushing his nose against the opening as if urging them to hurry. Mark's hands shook as he dialed 911. "We found him. Send rescue teams now." Within minutes, paramedics and officers swarmed the woods. A rescue worker squeezed inside the narrow tunnel, crawling toward Ethan. "I see him. He's dehydrated, but he's alive." Rachel fell to her knees as Ethan was carefully pulled out. Weak, bruised, covered in dirt and leaves, but breathing. She wrapped her arms around him, sobbing into his hair, but Ethan's next words froze everyone. "It wasn't an accident," he whispered. "Someone pushed me. Mr. Dalton, the man from 2 houses down. He followed me. I tried to run, but I slipped. He shoved me into the tunnel and left." Mark's face hardened with horror. A nearby officer looked at Hunter. "He's been tracking Ethan's scent since the first day. He knew exactly where to go." Hunter growled softly, nose pointed toward the neighborhood. The predator wasn't far, and justice was coming. The hospital. Ethan rested against crisp, white pillows. His small hand wrapped around his mother's fingers like he was afraid she might disappear. Nurses moved gently around him, checking his vitals, cleaning his cuts, whispering how lucky he was to be found in time. But through it all, Hunter refused to move from the doorway, standing guard like a silent, unshakable protector. Mark approached the K9 slowly. "You did this," he whispered, voice thick with emotion. "You brought our boy home." Hunter's ears twitched. He stepped forward, pressing his head softly against Mark's hand, accepting the gratitude without needing a single word. When Ethan finally woke fully, his eyes drifted to the doorway. "Hunter," he whispered. The dog immediately padded to his bedside. Ethan reached out, placing a shaky hand on Hunter's fur. "He stayed with me. He kept tapping the metal tunnel every night. I think he was trying to tell someone." Rachel wiped her tears. "He never gave up on you." A social worker entered the room. "Hunter's department says he recently lost his handler. He's been refusing reassignment. But he seems to have chosen you." Ethan looked up, hopeful. Can he stay with us?" Mark and Rachel exchanged a glance, then nodded through tears. "Hunter's home now," Mark said softly, and the brave K9 curled up beside Ethan, finally finding the family he had been searching for.